Ice and storms and snow and rain. Ladies and gentlemen, guess what? Mama Nature is about to become our disdain. Let's talk about it in this Monday edition of the Texas Weather Roundup. Good morning. It is Monday, the 10th of February, 2025. I'm Texas Weather Center's Baldy-in-Chief, David Reimer. A month ago today, I made a video intro talking about my first storm chase tornado experience from February 10th, 2009. That was right after the series of days where Mama Nature wouldn't let us sleep. So I thought it was February, but it was only January. So I'll go ahead and forego any sort of reminiscing about my first tornado on the 10th of February 2009 on a storm chase and simply say, well, it's been 16 years and we're still here. So I'm clearly older. The head is much more shiny and a lack of hair is noted, but I'm also not a junior in high school anymore. So let's get into it. Let's start off with the fire weather outlook for the next several days. We do have today being relatively tranquil in the fire department from the Texas A&M Forest Service. As we go into Tuesday and Wednesday, we're going to notice a uptick in fire danger across the borderland, far west Texas, the Guadalupe Mountains, the Big Bend, the Trans-Pecos, the Davis Mountains, the Permian Basin, West Texas, into portions of the Concho Valley, Edwards Plateau, and Big Country, West Texas. That will become especially true on Wednesday when the big, bad, very mad red doomsday color emerges across several of those regions, indicative of extreme fire danger that could materialize on the backside of a storm system that will be moving across the state. So we could have some problems come Wednesday, but that could also apply for Tuesday as well. The high-resolution rapid refresh model going through today, tonight, into Tuesday. Guess what? It's going to be a cloudy day across a vast majority of Texas. We're going to see isolated scattered showers on the light side, increase in coverage this afternoon through tonight. As we go into Tuesday morning, we note the potential for scattered heavier showers, maybe a few stormies, across the eastern half of Texas, North Texas tomorrow morning, transitioning into portions of southeast Texas, the coastal plains, East Texas, coming into Tuesday afternoon. Severe thunderstorms are not expected, but some of these storms could produce small hail, frequent lightning, and heavy rainfall. We do note surface temperatures are going to likely be flirting with or below freezing in the Panhandle, where we could see light freezing drizzle Tuesday morning into Tuesday afternoon. While significant ice accumulations are not expected through Tuesday afternoon, the potential will exist for slick spots on area roads, bridges, overpasses, exposed elevated objects. If the freezing drizzle is a little more persistent than indicated by this single weather model, things could be slicker than bull snot. So keep that in mind. We are likely to see some icy issues develop in the Panhandle on Tuesday. Those issues could worsen considerably Tuesday night into Wednesday across the eastern Panhandle, and we may even see some snow as we get into Wednesday in the Panhandle as well. Otherwise, the next few days are going to be quite wet across the eastern half to the eastern two-thirds of the state of Texas, with an emphasis on tonight, Tuesday, and a bit on Wednesday as well. Getting into the Wednesday time frame, let's take a look at the global forecast system. You can see scattered showers and storms, the eastern half to the eastern 65% of Texas. Tuesday night, Wednesday morning, that activity quickly departs east of the state of Texas. Dry slot kicks in with a cold front coming on in. That will bring cooler weather to the northern two-thirds of the state through mid to late week. You can even see as we get into Thursday, northerly winds make it down to deep south Texas. We may even still have some scattered showers try to continue into Wednesday night and Thursday morning. Otherwise, we'll get into the late week. A system may bring a quick round of showers and storms to the eastern third of Texas going into Saturday. That's going to be a very dynamic storm system that's probably going to cause quite a bit of hoopla across the eastern half of the United States this weekend into early next week. We kind of look to be on the tail end of that. We may not have to deal with too much outside of another cold front with strong north winds going into Saturday and Sunday. As you can see, it actually doesn't look all that bad for most of Texas this weekend. We'll see how that holds up depending on the exact specific locations of the upper-level storm system, surface features, and timing. Another note is the potential for winter weather. Tuesday night into Wednesday morning, the Texas Panhandle, especially the eastern half of the Panhandle east of I-27, east of 287, the potential will exist for ice and snow. We could see 1 to 2/10 of an inch of ice in the eastern Panhandle. That is enough to cause quite a bit of an issue in the travel department. The same will be true across western, central, and northern Oklahoma. We may even see some light ice into west central Texas, northwest Texas. Not a lot of ice, but enough to cause issues in the travel department, since it only takes 1/100th of an inch of ice to turn things into slicky, doom. So keep that in mind. Tuesday night and Wednesday morning, the potential for road conditions to be hazardous. Panhandle, parts of northwest Texas, west central Texas, and for all intent and purposes, the northwestern half of the state of Oklahoma. Rest of us, well, guess what? Eastern half, the eastern 65% of the state, showers and storms, especially tonight, Tuesday, into Wednesday, and then it all goes bye-bye, with some chance for at least some precipitation continuing thereafter. We may still even see some occasional snow in the Panhandle throughout Wednesday. You can see even this kind of almost shows a bit of a light freezy drizzle. The big country, northwest Texas, Texoma, Thursday morning. We're not buying into that just yet. We're going to watch for it, but we should have drier air trying to filter in. If that changes, we'll let you know, since, well, freezing drizzle is a pain in the posterior, the butt, the rear end. You can come up with your more creative descriptors. Now, here's forecast rain totals for Texas over the next 5 days. Well, technically, I guess this is 7 days it shows on here. So 5 to 7 days. Oh, well. You can see we are expecting 1 to 2 inches of rain. Texoma, North Texas, Northeast Texas, the Brazos Valley, Southeast Texas, the Golden Triangle, the Toledo Bend Reservoir, the Piney Woods of East Texas, the Arklatex, Northwest Texas, with even some precipitation, the Panhandle, Big Country, Concho Valley Hill Country, Coastal Plains, down into South Texas. Notice not a thing, the western third of the state. And for what it's worth, that precipitation, the Panhandle, parts of west central Texas, likely to be in the form of melted ice/snow, the liquid equivalent. Now, here's the next 5 days looking across. Boy, isn't that just a mess? How about we do this? Okay, that was through Friday afternoon, by the way. See, I can make pretty graphics. I just can't make them look super duper pretty and coinciding all the time. We had a graphic that was showing 7 days. That was just the bottom graphic. That was from another day, but that wasn't showing. Here's forecast rain totals over the next 5 days across the United States. Notice California is going to get walloped. We're looking at a significant atmospheric river event. The whole state of California, including SoCal, they're going to have significant issues with debris flows, mudslides, especially in burn scars. Notice they're expecting over 4 inches of liquid rain equivalent in the mountains. That's going to fall as probably 5 to 10 feet of snow, if not more, in the higher elevations there. You can see we're going to be dealing with precipitation here in Texas over the next few days. Those in the mid-south of the United States, the eastern United States, up into Delmarva, looking at the potential for 2 to 5 inches of rain, while those of you in Delmarva, West Virginia yourselves, up into New York, the potential for a significant winter storm Tuesday into Wednesday, with several inches of snow possible in places like Philly, down into Baltimore, D.C., and then a switch over to rain with a flooding risk going into, well, Wednesday night, Thursday, some snows up in upstate New York, up towards Boston and Maine. See? We can talk more about than just Texas weather here. Doesn't it scare you? We can actually do that from time to time. I know, right? I get to test my magical geography skills. Even some rain out in Arizona, Utah, Nevada, snows up in Idaho, and some precip up in Oregon and Washington. Not much up in the Pacific Northwest, though. Atmospheric river will be staying mostly in, I was going to say Southern California, but the whole state of California. Spooky that I get to use my geography, isn't it? I know. From time to time, I actually get to play with that. Today's high temperatures across the state. You can see the cold front has sagged its way south. Southern third of Texas Areas mostly west of the Davis-Guadalupe Mountains, Trans-Pecos, you're still in the 70s and 80s today. Enjoy it because the rest of the state's back to February. We'll see 75 El Paso, 84 McAllen, 69 Houston, 62 San Antonio, but if the cold front sags further south, you may be in the 50s all day. 57 in Austin, we're looking at 44 DFW, 39 Childress, 47 Amarillo, 41 in both Perryton and Canadian, 43 Texarkana, 66 in Jasper, 69 in Beaumont, 75 in Corpus Christi. Tomorrow, oh, this is one of these magical times we get to play Find the Cold Front and pick your season. 90 in McAllen if you're a summer fan. If you're a winter fan, 29 in Perryton in the northern panhandle of Texas with winter weather, ice, and snow. 35 Amarillo, 41 Lubbock, 52 DFW, 44 Wichita Falls, 48 in both Paris, Texarkana, 54 in Tyler, Longview, 73 Jasper, 78 Beaumont. We're looking at about 80 in Corpus Christi, 60 Waco, 64 in Temple Belton. We're looking at 74 San Antonio and 85 in Laredo and El Paso. Going into Wednesday, cool front lifts north a bit as a warm front. A high of only 21 in Perryton on Wednesday, 31 Amarillo. Winter weather, any ice and snow will be sticking around for a while. You can see it's going to be extremely cold on Wednesday up in the northern panhandle, Oklahoma, where we'll have ice and snow. On the flip side of things, 57 DFW, 53 in Texarkana, 65 El Paso, 73 in Austin, 81 San Antonio, 77 Houston, and Beaumont. We're looking at about, right behind the camera, 92 in Laredo, 93 McAllen, 88 in Corpus Christi. Pick your season, really. And then on Thursday, the cold front on the backside of the departing storm system says howdy and shifts its happy self south, bringing highs in the 30s, Panhandle, Northwest Texas, Texoma, into the big country, DFW, Northeast Texas, highs 30s and 40s, 55 San Antonio, nothing like a 30 to 40 degree temperature drop, 40s Central Texas, down I-35 Waco, Austin, 56 in Houston, 70 in McAllen, 64 El Paso, 61 in Beaumont. So yeah, much colder Thursday. Friday, we start the warm-up process again. We're in the 60s in the Panhandle. Y'all are going to have ice and snow Tuesday, Wednesday. By Friday, you're going to be back in the 60s. How's that? Don't you like that? And that's why we live in Texas and not Virginia or Maryland, for example. 50s Texoma, Northeast Texas, East Texas, down to Central Texas. 70s in the Guadalupe Davis Mountains, Trans-Pecos. 76 in Fort Stockton. 73 in El Paso out in the borderland. 70 in McAllen down in Deep South Texas, the Rio Grande Plains. 69 in Laredo. 66 Corpus Christi. 63 in Houston. 64 in Beaumont. We're looking at 62 in Bryan College Station and San Antonio. Taking a look at the long-range outlook. This is going to be the 8 to 14 day time frame, the 17th through 23rd of February, and you can see generally the Climate Prediction Center favoring a better chance of below average temperatures, nothing that screams uh-oh, spaghetti-o, doomsday cold or ice at this point, but we may be on the cooler side of the temperature spectrum, still a bit warmer around the borderland far west Texas, and then the precip outlook, far west Texas is dry. Eastern third of the state could be a bit wet. Everyone else, it's an equal chance between dry and wet, which I guess beats being completely and utterly dry. We do need the precip, especially the western ports of the state. That, ladies and gentlemen, is going to be your Monday edition of the Texas Weather Roundup. As always, you can find the latest Texas weather forecast down to your local area in the free Texas Storm Chasers mobile app. Just search for Texas Storm Chasers where you download apps to your device. You can also find us on the web, TexasStormChasers.com. We've got a pretty neat interactive weather radar. And hey, you're probably watching this on YouTube. Find us here at the Texas Weather Center. We appreciate all the feedback. Constructive criticism is always welcome. If you want to call me names that are mean and hateful, well, guess what? Boo-hoo, the smallest world's violin, just for you. Just kidding, actually. I really don't even care that much. So, hey, you know what? That's it. Give us a happy thumb, a sad thumb, whatever floats your boat. And if you really want to keep up with us, hit that magical super duper awesome blossom subscribe button. It is free. It gives you a cool little animation. And guess what? That'll notify you when we publish new daily Texas weather content. And you know, once we get back into severe weather season, assuming we have one this year, knock on wood, we don't, but we'll have live severe weather coverage. It's going to be fun. We've got some cool stuff planned. Until then, I'm going to go back off into the little corner of darkness I hide in until the next edition of the Texas Weather Roundup. So y'all have a great Monday. Have a beautiful day, and we'll talk to you again tomorrow. Bye-bye.